Hello everyone. We'll start with the second session of design of lacings for compression members. So in the previous session we have studied the design procedure for the lacing system for compression member. In this session we will design the lacing for a compression member using those criteria. Okay, so look at the problem here. Design a built up column consisting of two channels placed toe to toe. That means we are placing it something like this: toe of the compression member to toe of the compression member. Okay, he is clearly mentioning here those are channel sections. Okay, two channels placed toe to toe. The column carries an axial factored load of 1600 kilonewton. The effective height of the column is 10 meters. Design the lacing and also draw the details. So he has given you the capacity of the column. Okay, for that built up column means they are not using the standard channel section. Along with that we will be using lacings and all. Okay, so whenever we have the channels, okay, check the procedure of design of compression members. Whenever we have the channels, the assumption of design compression stress will be around 110 to 135 newton per mm square. So area required to carry 1600 kilonewton will be 11,852 mm square. So since he is using the channel sections, you can use either ISMC Indian standard medium channel or ISLC Indian standard lower channels. Okay, here they are using ISLC 400. You can also use ISMC, which matches the area of 11,852 mm square. Okay, so don't match it exactly, keep the area little bit lesser to that, because since we are using the lacing system also along with this, okay, some of the load will be carried by lacing also. Okay, so ISLC 400, area of one ISLC 400 is 5825 mm square. You can check in the steel table, that will give you 11,650 mm square. RZZ or RXX in the steel table you can check. For that section ISLC 400 we have 155 mm. So to calculate, when I place the channels toe to toe, to calculate the distance D, spacing between those two channels, okay, we have a criteria which explains that. See here, sixth one, the distance between two main members should be kept so as to get radius of gyration in both the direction almost equal. Okay, so RXX 145, RZZ 0.05 times the KL by R value. See here we have the criteria. 13th point, the effective slenderness ratio of laced column shall be taken as 1.5 times the actual slenderness ratio, that is 1.5 times KL by R. So that we have done it here. 67.74 slenderness ratio we have got. Okay, from table 10 we can get the buckling class of the channel section, that is buckling class C, referring to table 9C. And using the grade of steel for the compression member as 250 newton per mm square, we have the design compressive stress of ISLC channels. Okay, from interpolation I have got it as 6 into the total area of the compression member, that is 11,650 mm square we have. So it will be carrying 1812 kilonewtons. Okay, 1812 kilonewton load. So here it is greater than 1600 newton per mm square they have written, that is wrong here. Okay, so it is greater than 1600 kilonewtons. In the problem they have given 1600 kilonewtons. The total area of the section has to carry 1600 kilonewtons, and here it is carrying 1812 kilonewtons. Okay, now keep in mind 1600 newton per mm square here written is wrong. Okay, you correct it. Of both the axes shall be equated. Okay, see here the channels are placed something like this. D will be the width of leg of the channel. Okay, D will be the clear spacing between toe of one channel to toe of the CG of the channel sections. Okay, that will be at the center of B. Okay, now to get radius of working I need to calculate and IYY value I have directly. B is 100 mm from steel table and CYY the CG of that section is 23.6 mm. Area is 5825 mm square. Since the channels are placed toe to toe, distance of centroid of channel from the CG of the section will be D plus B minus CY. Minus CY means D plus B will give you the total width. Out of that I will deduct CYY, that will be D plus 100 minus 23.6. So the centroid of the channel, both the channels will be D plus 76.4. So IYY of the section is 2 times A plus AY bar square. So in the elements of civil engineering you might have studied it. 2 times area 2 times IYY plus AY bar square. Okay, IYY is 460.4 into 10 raised to 4 plus AY bar square. A is 5825, Y bar is D plus 76.4 square. So that will give you IY of the section, and IZZ of the section we have 13989.5 into 10 raised to 4. Two sections we have into 2. So equating both IXX and IYY, I will get the distance between the two channels D 76 mm. This D from toe to toe what we have placed is 76 mm. Now we will go for design of the link. Plus 2B, the end of the channel to end of the channel it has to run D plus 2B. Again what we have minus 2G. G is the gauge distance where we from end of the channel to center of the bolt, 2G. So that gauge distance I have kept it as 60. For gauge, check the minimum gauge distance clause in bolted connections. Okay, so in the figure we have shown it here at the end. See here, G is equal to 60 mm. So check the minimum gauge distance clause first, then write it. Okay, distance horizontal spacing of lacing is D plus 2B minus 2B 156 mm. Vertical spacing means from end of one lacing to end of other lacing. This will form a triangle here. See here, lacing is forming a triangle. To get the vertical spacing between the end of lacing to end of lacing, I will use that triangle and I will use the inclination as 45 degrees. So vertical spacing will be 156. Spacing will be 156, that is horizontal spacing into tan 45 into 2. 2 means 2 lacings you will get in vertical distance. See here, so this triangle is giving you 2 distance. If I draw the horizontal line from left to right, it will give you 2 triangles. Okay, so vertical spacing I will get it here, that is 312 mm. Okay, next this 312 vertical space, 312 vertical spacing and 2 end plates, which is possible to cover 10 meter length. Least radius of gyration of one channel is 28.1 mm given in the steel table. So KL by R of channel being between lacing is 312 by 28.1 is 11.1 lesser than 50. So this is slenderness ratio of the compression member in between the lacing, in between one span of lacing, not the complete compression member. So for that we have the clause here. Seventh point, you can check it. Maximum spacing of lacing bar shall be such that the maximum slenderness ratio of main member between two consecutive lacing shall not be greater than 50 or 0.7 times this maximum slenderness ratio as a whole. So KL by R is lesser than 50, so it is okay. Next, transfer shear to be resisted by lacing system, that is 2.5% of axial load. Check the point here. Design step. Eighth one, the lacing shall be designed to resist transfer shear 2.5% of axial force. So 2.5% of 1600 kilonewton, that is 40 kilonewton it has to carry. Since it is double lacing system, front on face A and on face B we are to carry. So length of the lacing, inclined length of the lacing, again I can use the triangle, okay, and I have calculated the inclined length of the lacing. Minimum thickness of lacing is 1/40th times given in the design step here. The thickness of flat as the not the channels, okay. So if I'm using flat plate, the thickness shall be 1/40th times of its effective length. So thickness of lacing, check here, 1/40th times of effective length of the lacing, 51 mm. So here because I'm using 6 mm flat plate, so required is 5.51. 6 mm flat plate I am using. Next, minimum width of lacing is 16 mm bolts are used, 3 into 60. So for width of the lacing, again we have the clause. Check the design step. 3 times the bolt dia, 48 mm. So let us give 50 mm wide, 6 mm thick flat plates as lacing. So sectional area of flat plate is 300 mm square. Our minimum value is, since it is a rectangular section, BD cube by 12 is I. Square root of I by A will give you radius of gyration value. Square root of I by A. Okay. Next, I am using 16 mm bolt to connect the steel flat to the channel section. So I am calculating the 16 mm bolt strength here in shear and in bearing, which you have studied in bolted connection. So the load carrying capacity of one bolt, I have got it here as 28.974 kilonewton or 28974 newton, you can say. So number of bolts required to carry 20 kilonewton here. Shear to be resisted by each lacing is 20 kilonewton. So number of bolts required is 0.69. So provide one bolt at the end of every lacing. Okay. Next, check for strength of lacing. So KL by R 127.4 belongs to buckling class C. Refer table number 9C. Calculate the design stress value. Its load carrying capacity is design stress 76.744 into area 50 into 6. So that is 23,023 Newton, greater than 20,000. So it is okay. So force in lacing, avoid this step. Okay. So because its load carrying capacity is already greater than 20,000 Newton. 23,023 Newton it is. So force in lacing, no need to calculate that. Only up to load carrying capacity you calculate. Okay. So hence use 50 ISF, that is 50 mm Indian standard flat 8 means thickness of that plate, so here I am using 6. Okay, so write 6 there. Use 50 ISF 6 as lacing and indicate in the drawing here. End plate 160 mm wide, 10 mm thick, 45-degree inclination you show. The lacing which we have used you show 50 ISF 6, you have to write 50 ISF 6, and at the end we have used 16 mm bolts. Okay, so you have to indicate the diagram at the end something like this. So I will give you the assignment.